I am Laura Deitsch, otherwise known as Dr. Shameless. I am a therapist and I work a lot with sexual assault victims, but I also work with couples and individuals on sexuality related issues. I also go out into the community and provide education, training, workshops, really fun stuff for people in the kink community, the BDSM community, the LGBTQ community, and all over town. I had this realization that people were handcuffing their own sex lives because of shame. And I just feel like that's such it's a shame. But it's just so hampering and without any reason to be. Shame is a completely useless emotion. It has no benefit at all. It really is just debilitating. And if people can rid themselves of shame, I feel like we can have a lot more fulfilling, healthy sexuality and also a lot better relationships. My route to sexuality education is a little bit curvy, and I got here by wanting to teach sex ed. So back in the 1980s when I was in high school, we had some really good folks that we could go to for our questions, and then other folks that weren't as helpful. And I always wanted to be the person that I was looking for when I was in high school. So I grew up and of course went and got a journalism degree, which was not helpful. It was later, but I didn't know that. And then I went back to school and got a master's in health science education because I wanted to teach sex ed. So I graduated and I moved out to Las Vegas and I became a program manager in the education department at Planned Parenthood of Southern Nevada. I taught sex ed for about 15 years in Southern Nevada, and then I realized that the kids that I was serving needed a lot more than just education. They really needed somebody that they could talk to and they needed help. So I went back to school and got a degree in counseling, and I've been doing therapy ever since. And then, because we had time, I went and got a doctorate of human sexuality at the Institute for Advanced Study of Human Sexuality in San Francisco. My time with Planned Parenthood was amazing, and it just felt like home. They have the values that I stand for, they've got the services I believe in. So after I left, I was gone about 2 or 3 years, and one of the women that I had worked with had gone off and founded Vibrant. And she soon found herself needing somebody in the therapy education / field to talk to the media. And my journalism background, yay, came in super handy. So she reached out and asked if I would be the resident sexologist for Vibrant. And here I am. Yes. The biggest value of Vibrant that I appreciate is that it's incredibly inclusive. This is an all genders, all bodies, all experiences kind of company. So it's not necessarily products for boys or girls, it's products for people and products for parts. So I really appreciate that it's a very inclusive and non-stigmatizing and non-norming kind of attitude there. The other piece that really is near and dear to me, of course, is that the benefits go to Planned Parenthood. I would say checking in with yourself and your gut as to where that feeling of shame is coming from and seeing if it's still valid. Shame originates probably when we're kids. Messages we get as children that we grow up with in our families of origin as to what is right and wrong and should and shouldn't and can and can't. And then we never stop and check in with those messages as we grow up and as our experiences change and as our other values and our worldview changes. So checking in and seeing if our current values are up to date. Another tip is to realize that if you're with a partner and they're with you and you're already naked, they probably don't think you're too fat or too skinny or too tall or too light or too dark or too anything. So learning to love our bodies is definitely a tip. And just being comfortable in your own skin and saying, yeah, I like this certain fetish, or I like German dungeon porn. Being okay and being open with exploration and trying out new things and talking to a partner about new stuff. But just being okay with what you're okay with is a huge piece. I think Vibrant can definitely help people lose their shame because the online chat is super helpful. So you can anonymously, but pretty much 24/7 reach out to somebody and get information on toys and how they're used and what parts they're for and what makes them feel good and safe. I also think the idea behind Vibrant, the link to Planned Parenthood, helps in terms of accessing really good health care so people can feel comfortable about their sexual health and feel more confident in that realm. I am Dr. Shameless, and you can find me on Facebook at Dr. Shameless. And I also have my website, drshameless.com.